Saint Francis and the Wolf of Gubbio. He hardly looked like St. George, sauntering out there with no shoes on his feet to meet the Wolf of Gubbio. His way to the lair was littered with remains. Here a human ribcage slightly gnawed, there a banker's skull with one eye hanging from its orbit. Bits and pieces of hands and legs where the wolf had lost interest in them, and randomly scattered in the dust gleams of blades brought there by various braves who'd been to kill the wolf and met their maker. "Francis has no weapon, not even a stone or sling. He's scrawny, the wolf will make short work of him." The people said these things and followed at a distance, thinking these footprints were the last trace he would leave. Then out rushed the wolf, with wide jaws strung with slaver, hackles raised, ready to hurl himself at Francis, who quietly stood there waiting, holding up his hand and gesturing in blessing. At which the wolf crouched meekly on the ground, shuffling forward with his great chest in the dust, placing his beautiful murderous head in Francis' hands. Some say they heard what Francis said, but all I heard was crows, and in a while a whimpering. And then Francis was walking past us, back into Gubbio, the chastened wolf slinking with his flank in touch with Francis' thigh, like a well-trained greyhound, heading straight to the city square where the horses baited at the reins to see the predator passing freely through the streets, and citizens ran away screaming, barricaded themselves inside their homes. So Francis and the wolf waited by the fountain for someone to come forward. They did a lot of waiting, until it became embarrassing. Then, one by one, we crept out from our shops and homes, and Francis was sitting there, laughing, pointing at the wolf's mouth and lolling tongue. If these small jaws can fill with fear an entire city, how much more should we fear the jaws of hell? And after came a sermon of 7 words. "Feed him. He'll never harm you again." And I, being still a child, I understood and went to where the butcher's shop was slung outside with gutted carcasses dripping blood, took without paying a nameless haunch of animal and carried it to where the wolf sat with paw in Francis' hands. "Take, eat," said Francis. And with a flash of wildness the wolf devoured all, then with bloody lips came and licked my face, so when I turned, cheeks smirched with blood, toward the butcher rushing from his shop, at first I think he thought the wolf had hurt me, then took me in his arms, howling with relief, and made his pledge to forever give the wolf his daily alms of freshly slaughtered meat. And the wolf turned to St. Francis, licked a blood spot, lay down at his feet.